Hey everyone, today I have this look for you. It is my New Year's Eve look, and it is really over the top, but I think I love it. So, if you are interested to see how I did this, I will give you a tip. Pigments, foundation that's way too light. If you're interested in learning more, then just keep watching. Today I'm going to start with my eyes just so that if I have any fallout, I don't have to worry about what it looks like down here. I can just clean it up and start fresh with the skin. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this warm brown shade. This is Creme Brûlée by Makeup Geek. I'm just going to take that on a fluffy brush and take it through the eye socket so that everything else blends out nicely. That's kind of my transition / crease shade to start with. Then I'm going to blend out the top edge of that with Vanilla Bean, also by Makeup Geek. Next I'm going to take Cocoa Bear, and it is a darker matte shade, but still very warm brown. I'm going to take this on a pencil brush and start to darken and deepen the outer V, working it a little bit into the crease, but connecting it down to the lash line as well. Next, I'm going to take a glitter glue, and I just have a little sample of the Too Faced Shadow Insurance glitter glue. So if this is kind of a one-time situation for you, maybe that's something that could be very cost-effective for you, but I know there are also cheaper versions. I think LA Splash has one that is very well regarded, so definitely you don't have to go out and buy like a $25 glitter glue just for this. But it's what I have, so I'm going to take just a little bit of that on my finger, and I'm going to tap that over the rest of the eye where I haven't put down any eyeshadow yet. Now, if black glitter isn't your thing, I totally understand that, and this could still be a really beautiful base for maybe one of these two colors on your eyes instead. These are both Makeup Geek, and this is In the Spotlight, and this one is Magic Act, so they would both be very shimmery, but they would be a lot more bright, so it wouldn't be quite as overwhelming, and you could just put that over the rest of the lid and pretty much be done. So just so you know, you do definitely have other options. But I just feel like, how many times a year do you really have an excuse to wear black glitter? So I'm going to take the Makeup Geek Pigment in Utopia, which you can see through the bottom here, is just this absolutely gorgeous, silvery, chunky glitter. I have used it before in a tutorial. It's been quite a while, and I have gotten much better since then, so I can link it below, but only watch it if you really want to see how far I've come in the last 10 months. It's ridiculous. But anyway, I'm going to take this gorgeous black pigment and I'm going to basically just put it everywhere that I just put down that glitter glue. I'm going to take just a tiny bit of what's left on my brush and see if I can blend it in just a little bit above the crease so that it doesn't look quite so stark where the glitter ends. Mostly here on the inner portion because I have the color on the outer portion. But here on the inner part, I don't have as much. I'm going to take a little bit of moisturizer on a Q-tip and take this opportunity to get rid of all of the fallout that is all over my face, because there is so much fallout on my face right now, it's ridiculous. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and work on my skin at this point and probably come back and futz with the eyes a little bit later, but most of the glitter is on, so I'm not super worried about fallout at this point. For primer today, I'm going to use the L'Oreal Magic Lumi primer. I've been really into very healthy, glowy looking skin lately, so this is really going to help with that. For foundation today, I'm going to use the Marc Jacobs Remarkable Full Cover Foundation. This is in the shade 10, which last time I used it was a fair bit too light, but I also tried it last summer when I was at least half a shade to a full shade darker than I am right now, so hopefully it's at least passable for now. It also has a really funny applicator, but that's because it takes approximately 3 drops to do your whole face. It's crazy. Hey, seriously, did you see how little I put on there? Like, I touched it to my face 3 times, and that is... They're not kidding when they say full cover. I mean, that's crazy pigmented. I'm going to put like as little as humanly possible on my nose because otherwise I can see this going very poorly. Yeah, so it's still a little light for me, you can tell. And my under eye circles look like a crazy person, but we'll fix it. It looks a little bit patchy kind of in this area on camera, but in person it really looks fine. And in person it doesn't look this white. Like, it's kind of kabuki white. I'm a little bit weirded out by it. Now I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. This is in the shade 15 because these dark circles look crazy pants. And I'm going to set those with the Laura Mercier Secret Under Eye Brightening Powder. After some concealer and a little bit of a camera adjustment, I don't think that looks quite as terrifying as it did just a minute ago. It is still too pale for me, definitely, but again, the camera is making it worse than it actually looks in real life. So at least there's that. Hopefully it's not as terrifying as maybe you might think it is. I'm going to set the rest of my skin with my CoverFX Illuminating Setting Powder. This doesn't add any color, it just adds a brightness and a kind of a glow. At this point I want to do my brows because I really think the lack of definition up here is making this look a little bit weirder than it needs to. So I'm going to go in with my Sephora Collection eyebrow pencil, and this is in the shade 05, the neutral gray brown, which I really like, a cool toned brow shade, and I think this one's great, and I'm just going to use this to define my brows. I'm not really reshaping, I'm just defining. So of course I am pretty lucky in having pretty naturally at least semi-full brows, so if you need to fully like make up a brow, make up a brow. I'm going to sit those in place with the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Plumper in the light medium shade. Oh, this is not the light medium shade, this is the dark shade. It's already in my hand, so I'm going to go with it. Now I want to put a little bit of color into my face, so I'm going to go in with my Sephora Collection Colorful Blush in Tranquil. I'm going to use that as my contour shade. For blush, I'm going to use Milani Luminoso, which I know is always my go-to, but especially in a look like this because I'm going to have quite a bit of warmth in this eye, and I'm going to use quite a warm lip as well. So I don't want to use something like a very cool pink, I want to use something that's going to tie into those tones. And for highlight, I'm going to use the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector pressed in the shade Moonstone. I'm going to go ahead and put on my lipstick at this point before I completely finish the eyes. I'm going to use one of the newer Buxom lipsticks. This is the Bold Gel lipstick in shade Poison Nectar, and I just got this in gratis. It's a beautiful kind of orangey nude shade, which I really think is going to tie into this eye color. I'm going to be using gel liner today, and I want to start with Make a Peak Mobster, which is their matte brown shade. I'm going to use this on the lower lash line and in the lower waterline. And I'm using brown to keep things just a little bit warmer, but also just a little bit less harsh. I think black on the lower waterline can really close things in. I'm going to go in with the same pencil brush that I had earlier and just smudge that out. Now I'm going to go in with their black liner, which is called Immortal, and I'm going to use this along the top lash line, and I don't want to get it too thick. I can pretty easily tend to go too thick when I'm doing my liner, so I'm going to try to be careful not to kind of go overboard, but I am going to pull out the wing just a little bit. What I think this look really needs is some lashes, so I'm going to go in with a pair of Ardell Demi Wispies, because I'm not great at wearing way more dramatic lashes than that, but I think you could definitely go for it if you wanted to. So I'm going to start with curling my own lashes. This is driving me too crazy. I have to put a little bit of this on my neck so that I don't look like a floating head. Now that I've curled my lashes, I'm going to go ahead and put on mascara. This is the Dior Show. I think this is the old formula though. They have reformulated this recently. Now I'm going to take my little lash and I'm going to put some duo glue on it. Can I just take this time to say I am far from a lash expert. It will probably take me at least 3 tries to get this on right. So, sorry about it. Keep these flexible, and as soon as it starts to go transparent, I'm gonna drop them on my eye. Where is my mirror? Holding down each corner to make sure that they aren't going to pop up, because if they, half the time I feel like they're connected and then they actually aren't, so I'm just really making sure that the corners are glued down. There we go, and this is why we wear lashes, because it makes everything better. And by better, I mean more dramatic. Would you look like this? Pretty sure those two words are the same thing. So now we're just going to repeat that by taking the lash, covering it with glue, dropping it on the eye. And that is the final step in this really extremely dramatic look, for me at least. This is way more makeup than I ever wear in my day-to-day life, but every now and then it's fun to have an excuse to get all gussied up like this, as my great-grandma might say, I guess. I'm not sure why I just used that word. This is also way more eyeliner than I ever wear, and I never ever put hardly anything on my bottom lash line, so it's a little bit unusual for me to see myself like this. I'm having a little bit of a hard time with it, but I think I really like it. I just don't know if I like it on me, but you know, I think we all do that. A lot of people like it with red lipstick. They're like, you know, I could never wear red lipstick. And the truth is probably, yes, you can. You just aren't used to seeing it on you, and it's weird. And for me, that's kind of how I am with this much black all the way around my eye. But I think I like it, and I think it's very appropriate for the event, because if ever there is a time to wear way too much glitter and eyeliner, definitely New Year's Eve is it. So if you have ever wanted to look like this, but you've never really had the guts, I would say this is your chance to do it, because no one else is going to care. Everyone else is going to look like this. It's going to be awesome. So you just go for it and have fun. So thanks for watching that, guys. I hope you picked up at least a couple little tips from it that you can use at some other time in your life. I hope that 2015 was a really great year for you, and I hope you have awesome plans for New Year's Eve and that you're going to get to see a lot of friends. Maybe not family because you probably just saw them for Christmas and maybe you're a little bit sick of them, but that's okay. New Year's Eve is for friends here in the States, so hopefully you get to see them and really enjoy that. And I hope that you have awesome plans for 2016. Let me know if you have any goals that you're excited about or any makeup life goals that maybe you're like, this is the year I finally want to learn how to something. I'm not sure what my makeup goals are other than buying less. My goal in 2016 is to not be a VIB Rouge at Sephora. We'll see how that goes. I am not super confident, but that is at least kind of how I'm heading into the year. Anyway, it is time for me to say goodbye, and I will see you next year. Bye, guys!